tried to sit outside today since everybody seems to like that the best in my videos. Can't ever seem to get the lighting right, can I? But anyway, I am inside today because it is hot and humid and looks like it's about to rain. So look, this is how much I have gotten done on my Harry Potter sweater, or rather I guess I should say the Weasley sweater. And I am at the point where you are putting the needles back in to do the sleeves. Now, this is rather tricky, and I had to look up exactly how to do it because I didn't understand. First you measured, and then they told you to pick up a certain number of stitches. So I'm like, wait a second. If it's supposed to be all right here, that's not going to be the number of stitches that they have told me to pick up. So what do I do? So of course, what do I do? Go to YouTube. The answer to everything, right? And I figured out how to do it. And you skip a few stitches and yada, yada, yada. But I still can't seem to make it come out right because for some strange reason, there are more stitches on one side than the other. And I mean, I measured and remeasured and remeasured, so I'm not exactly sure what went on there. But I'm pretty close, so I need to finagle this just a little bit more, and I hope it'll be okay. My fear is that one arm is going to be tighter than the other arm or something like that. So anyway, that's where I am with that. Now, while I'm having a good time working on this, and I'm proud of my progress so far, oh, I forgot to talk about the shoulders. The shoulders, I watched YouTube video after YouTube video on this, and they used this nice light colored yarn for their sample, and then they would use a contrasting color for the joining so you could see just what was going on. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got this, no problem. But then it's a lot harder when you get in here and you're using, well, first of all, my yarn, it was hard to see the individual stitches. So I did an okay job joining those shoulders, but I could have done better. But remember, that's why I was so excited to do the Weasley sweater, is because I could learn on it and it didn't have to be just right. And besides, my daughter's going to wear it in her pajamas. You know, this is just not something that has to be perfect. But it's fun and I'm enjoying it. However, when you work this many stitches on something, I don't know about you, but I kind of tend to have a break. So that gorgeous yarn with that precious pattern that Luke Knits sent me, it's a crochet pattern called the Twistery Hat, and I'll insert a picture of it somewhere. I talked about this last week. He has released a help video to show you how to do this stitch, to get it to look like that, because I was just not doing something right. I thought I was understanding, but apparently I wasn't, and it didn't come out right. So yesterday I really looked hard at that video, and I'm going to put this aside and complete that hat because it's so cute and I loved the yarn, so the combination was perfect. And of course, crochet is always the thing I like to go back to when my you've heard the term cleansing palette, you know, when you kind of need to clear your head a little bit, and then you can start again on you know, whatever it is you're doing. So that's what I'll be working on probably before I get to the sleeves on this. Now, I also mentioned last week that I've been on a buying spree, or at least buying more than I have all year long. I've done really well this year, so I'm going to have to pat myself on the back for that, but I am beginning to spend again. And I'll tell you why. There have been some really good sales out there in yarn land. And something that really caught my eye was on Craftsy. They had a big sale. And I fell in love with this. I thought it was really, really pretty. And they had all kinds of different color yarn or whatever. And so this was a kit. You got the pattern and you got the yarn to do the pattern. So, and it was a great price, I thought. It was Cascades Ecological Wool. Well, this is not the color I thought I ordered. I can see where it is. It actually does not have the printed name on the label. It has a number. So, but I know that it is what I had chosen. It wasn't a mistake on their part. but I just thought it was a little bit richer in browns than it is gray. But that's okay. I mean, it's fine. It's great. I'm not going to worry about it and try to exchange it or whatever. But anyway, that's what I got. And I think this is the yarn that Erin used for the sweater that she had given me that I love so much. I'll have to double check that. But anyway, this pattern I believe is a little bit more advanced for my skill set right now. But I'm going to give it a go anyway. Now, something that I really like about it is it's full of options. All right, first of all, you've got cables, which that's great. You know, you have this ribbing across here, but do you see the buttons? That placket is optional, and it gives you different ways to, choices, in other words, to finish it off. And I thought that was great. Now, being excited about that, and that my yarn had still not come in, I was in, where was I? Michael's, I believe. Yes, Michael's. And of course had to make a tour by the yarn section. I didn't buy anything. But I saw this free pattern that I thought was similar and easier. Now it is a knit pattern, and it's called the Margaret. And it was just one of those things that hangs up by the yarn, you know. It's more simple than the hood pattern that I bought, but I really like it. I just think it's a real loose, slouchy looking thing, and it's basically well, here it is. See, it's basically a great big giant rectangle that you fold. I have actually made something similar to this on my Addy machine, my Addy Express, and well, it works, but you can't size it. So it's nice to have, you know, the pattern so that you can size it and whatever. Okay, the second thing I got from Craftsy that they were running a sale was this pattern. And I think this may be a free pattern. I'm not sure. You see how that's pretty, but something tells me I ran across it as free, but the deal was it was a really good price on this Cascade 220 Sport, and I chose this color to make them out of, so that came too. And this color is showing up pretty true. Actually, both of these colors are looking pretty true. I'm using my iPhone with the front-facing camera, so that's not the better camera. I really should flip it around, but I get so when I'm showing you stuff, I want to make sure I'm actually getting it in the view of the camera. So we're just going to go the easy route today instead of the better photography route. Now, I was talking about my Addy Express, and I love those machines. I have, you know, both the king size and the professional size. And just the other day, I got this message from Jewel Ogle. I think that's how you say her last name. And we were talking back and forth, and she mentioned that she had made 1,013 Addy hats for charity. I got to thinking about it. You know, I've never kept up with what I make, and just thinking about all of us together, I wonder how many heads we have warmed with our charity hats. That would be fun to know. But good job, Jewel. Keep it up. That's great. Okay, so last night, Tucker and I went to the dark movies, as the kids used to call it, to see The Intern, and it was great. It was a good little movie. And when we came home, of course, you know, the animals are greeting us, and we're going outside, and he finds a package that had come in the mail. And he puts it on the counter. Well, of course, I'm busy doing all kinds of other things that has to be done at this time, and I just glanced at it, and it said it was from Jimmy Bean's Wool, and I thought, oh, well, you know how I am. Oh, did I order something? I can't remember. Well, that'll be good. I'll open it in a minute. Well, I forgot to open it, and I ended up going to sleep. This morning, I get up early, and I said, well, let me see what I got from Jimmy Bean's Wool. Well, it wasn't anything I ordered. It was a gift from Daphne, who is knitting with Kitty on Ravelry, and Card Bunny, her number, Card Bunny 431 on YouTube. And she sent me a gift. Now, I mentioned to you that she had sent me some patterns. I think I said it last week. Gifted me some patterns that were right up my alley, and this is one of them. And not only did she give me the patterns, but now she gave me some yarn to work said patterns. So I'm so excited. But wait till you see what they are. One of them, all right, I'm going to close your ears right here. Is Malabrigo. Now, don't we all love Malabrigo? Look at the colors. Oh, I'm so excited that the camera is giving you accurate colors. It might be slightly deeper, but pretty darn close. Can you believe it? That is absolutely, I mean, that everybody loves Malabrigo, but I was just extremely touched. And then I looked in the box, and look what else was in here. Doesn't that look like something good to eat? Well, you can almost eat it up, because what it is Tosh DK tea cakes is what they call it. It's kind of like little sample balls of Madeline Tosh DK. Madeline Tosh, and I think we all know how much I love Madeline Tosh. Well, it just so happens, that's smart Daphne, this pattern right here was designed specifically for what Jimmy Bean's Wool sells, which are these Tosh DK tea cakes. And so I am going to make this wonderful pattern with these neutrals. And then she was worried, you know, about my color choices or whatever, so she got me one set of neutrals and one with the nice deep, well, actually these are deeps and brights, aren't they? And so that the whole spectrum was covered. And you know, you can't go wrong with me in color. There is not, well, I pointed out to her my profile picture, I'm sitting in a house full of neutrals, and then I'm wearing brights. I mean, I love color. So you can't go wrong with that. So Daphne, you outdid yourself on this gift. Oh, and by the way, inside here, there was a chai white tea, which I am a huge fan of tea. Never had chai white tea. And then, of course, these wonderful little biscuits, as the British call them. They're little cookies that are so wonderful. And I used to buy these by the box full, because I did like to have them with tea in the afternoon. I really have to watch my sugar, so I'm so glad that there's only this one tiny little thing, which you can bet I'm going to gobble it up. So Daphne, thank you. You really outdid yourself. One, on your thoughtfulness, but your choices. Wow. I mean, wow. I'm having the worst time filming this video. There's some worker people outside, and Bentley is barking at them every time they look sideways at the house. So that keeps stopping. And now Calico just came in, and she won't stop rubbing against the tripod, which ended up knocking the camera cattywampus. So now, I think it's no secret that I am primarily a charity knitter and crocheter. And on our Ravelry group, which, by the way, is picking up, we had a charity thread, and I know that some people are looking for ideas as to who to give to or how to get involved with charity work, and there were some really good ideas on there. And as pointed out on this Ravelry group, that sometimes the perfect choice for you is right under your nose. And one example of that is Maria, who is Bald Man's Wife. I love that. On Ravelry. She found the need right where she works. She works for a college, and there are plenty of kids who are lower income, and there's even a food bank at her college, which I found out is also at Ole Miss. Maggie was telling me all about it. I was oblivious. Maria and Maggie both opened my eyes to that. But anyway, she found that there was a need right there with the kids that she helps, and so that's pretty cool. And then in a similar vein, Julianne, who is Julianne 01, I think that's the letter O and the number 1. Her brother-in-law is in a nursing home, and so she's going there visiting the nursing home on a regular basis, and she looks around and notices, which I agree, I've noticed this on numerous occasions when my grandmother was there. There are so many old people who don't have family to visit them, and they've kind of, I don't know if they've been forgotten or if but they feel forgotten. But you know, nobody is coming to visit them. And here we would come in with gifts for my grandmother and all that sort of thing. And you look around and you feel really bad. So Julianne has stepped up and has started providing gifts for some of these people that just kind of need some love. And then Deet Martin, who is also Deep Martin on YouTube. Her real name's Nikki, and she pointed out something that really got my interest up. It's called Operation Gratitude. I am not sure if I've seen similar things to this. I'm not sure if I've seen this one or not, but all of a sudden it's really speaking to me, and I am motivated to do something for this group. Well, here, I took some screenshots. Let me show you this. So here we are at Operation Gratitude's homepage, and this website is a wealth of information, so I would encourage you to read it for yourself. You can see the different programs that they serve. You can even request a package if you have a connection to someone in the military. And here's what we want to look at, the Get Involved tab. There are tons of ways that you can help. Including recycling old cell phones, which I just got through packaging up a box to send because I had 7 old cell phones that I was saving for a fundraising project, and here's one. But as you can see, there's lots of different choices, some easy and some, of course, like what we like to do, making scarves and hats. So let's click on that. Now on this page is not only information for scarves and hats, but also the Cool Tie project, which are things that they send to them during the very hot months over there. So it's an easy sewing project, so we can talk about that later. But let's talk about scarves and hats. Now on this page you're going to have pretty much the frequently asked questions. When do they need them? They accept them year-round. And then they explain when they mail it. No items on board are sent during the spring and summer. That makes sense. And that's when they focus on those cold ties. And it does get cold there at night, by the way, in the winter months. Is there a pattern? I love this. There is no specific pattern that we ask you to follow, so feel free to use your own. Now, they do provide some down at the bottom, but, you know, use your own. Do what you enjoy doing. Now, they do recommend that you keep them simple, and here it says, and perhaps use slightly larger needles so more scarves can be made. I guess what they're trying to say is they need scarves, and if you could make a lot, you could do so with bulky yarn, you know, and go faster, but that is certainly not a requirement. Now, what size? Well, they're very specific about their scarves. They want them to be 5 or 6 inches across and about 48 inches long. However, they do say in different places that it doesn't have to be exact. So keep it pretty close, that you know, as close as you can get to that. And they're very adamant about no fringe. Okay. What colors should we use? While we accept any color, it is best to keep the colors on the subtle side, like blues, browns, olives. Did I say grounds? Blues, browns, olives, grays, maroon, and black would all be acceptable choices for both males and females. And they always appreciate military colors. Yes, that is true, but I also read down here, where was it? We take all types of scarves made from whatever fibers our volunteers care to use. The service members will often wear the scarves and hats we send while they are off duty. So it's not necessary that you use military muted tones. They may prefer some brighter colors to wear off duty. Because I don't know, I would imagine I'd get tired of seeing all those muted tones every day, especially if I have to wear it every day. But, you know, that's totally up to you, and I certainly understand why you do have the majority of people over there are men, and you know the majority of men do tend to lean toward these preferential colors, even in their off-duty wear. So, you know, keep all that in mind.
And then of course they give you other options to support even on this page and tell you how to send your stuff and yada yada yada. So I'm not going to insult you by reading the entire site to you. You're perfectly capable of doing that yourselves, but if that's something that appeals to you, I just thought I'd throw it out there.
There is a guy outside with a trimmer right now, and I hope my microphone is helping to keep my voice clear without hearing the trimmer going on out there. But anyway, back to this Operation Gratitude. What do you think if maybe we do something together to benefit this particular charity? Now, I know it is very much an American thing, but I want to encourage everybody. I mean, there's only so much we can knit and crochet for ourselves and our family and friends, right? So I really want to encourage you to pick something, you know, as we were just talking about, could be something that's right under your nose to share your skills with, your gifts. And I would like to have, I don't know how to organize it, but I would like for us to do on the Ravelry group a knit along or crochet along or charity along or something like that to benefit Operation Gratitude. Let's, if you think it's a good idea, you know, throw out some ways we can do this together. I think that would be really fun. Or maybe we should just do a general charity group, or maybe we could do two. I mean, what's to say? There's no rules. What am I talking about? We can do whatever we want to. So let's start throwing out some ideas of how we can work together to increase our charity production. Hey, look what I just noticed. This is the Malabrigo that Daphne sent me, and this is my sale yarn that I got, the Cascade 220, to do those mitts out of. Look, they go together. So Bentley and I just came in from the mailbox, and look, my sock yarn came in. This is what Jana Smith had told me was on sale at Joann. And I like the way Joann packages it in boxes and not envelopes, because you don't run the risk of ripping it open or cutting it when you're opening the envelope. But I just got these two colors right here, and I'm really pleased with them in person. Look, this one would work for Operation Gratitude. It's muted tones. That would be really good. Although I really don't know why something like this wouldn't work, because they're going to wear it, you know, off duty. But anyway, excited for those. Good prices too. Well, it's several hours later because the landscape people, we have all these branches that are hanging over the roof and are running into the windows and all that, so they were like right there by the windows, and I finally just had to turn off the camera. And then I mentioned last week that Amby, one of our friends here on the Ravelry board and of course on the comments of all my videos, Amby Crafts Reads, had asked if I would do a Q&A session, and I said, well, sure. But then as I read some of the questions that she had, I thought, well, you know, a lot of these would be great for us to put on the Ravelry board, because the whole reason I made that thing was so that we could develop friendships, you know, among each other. And so I think I'm going to post some of these questions over there, and you can chime in if you want to, so we can learn a little bit more about each other, like the reason you started crocheting and knitting, and she goes on about favorite colors, TV shows, and things like that. And so anyway, yeah, if you want to participate, I'll put those questions up there for us to share. And Amby, by the way, happens to live near Thomas's school, so I really hope that we can work out a weekend where we can meet up. Actually, I know that there's other people in the Atlanta area too, so we're going this weekend to visit Thomas, but there's not going to be any time because we can't check him out till 9 something, so we're not getting there until late. It's after the football game. And then, you know, we turn around and leave on Sunday. Of course, we want to spend all day Saturday with him. So, that's not going to work out. Then the next time we go is going to be homecoming and parents weekend. And so, but anyway, he's going to be there all year long. So we'll figure out something. And maybe we can have a mini Atlanta meetup or something. That would be fun. So, but anyway, That's all I got this week. Talk soon. Bye.